Sometimes you need to enter a lot of repetitive information in Excel, such as dates, and it can be really tedious. If you think there might be an easier, automated way to do this, you'd be right. Type the first date in the series, put the mouse pointer over the bottom right-hand corner of the cell until it's a black plus sign, click and hold the left mouse button, and drag the plus sign over the cells you want to fill. And voila! The series is filled in for you automatically using the autofill feature. Or say you have information in Excel that isn't formatted the way you need it to be, such as this list of names. And going through the entire list manually to correct them is daunting. You'd think there'd be an easier, automated way to do this too. And you'd be right again. Type the first name the way you want it. Start to type the next name, and, as if by magic, Excel provides a preview of the names formatted the way you want. Press Enter, and the names are filled in for you using the Flash Fill feature that's new in Excel 2013. Autofill and Flash Fill are tremendous time savers, and they can do much more than we've covered in this introduction. In the next videos, we'll cover them in more detail. In the previous video, you saw how autofill automatically fills a series down a column of adjacent cells, like this. But it can also go up a column, to the right, and the left in a row. When I move the cursor over what's called the fill handle, and it turns into a black plus sign, this time I hold down the right mouse button while I drag. When I let go of the mouse button, I'm presented with a list of options. Copy cells is pretty straightforward. Autofill copies what's in the A2 cell to the adjacent cells I selected. It even works with cells containing formulas. We just copied the data from a single cell, but you can also copy multiple cells, like this. Fill series populates the adjacent cells with data that follows a pattern in the copied cells. And, as expected, the formulas update automatically. You can also fill a series with time, like this. You can even change the results of fill series by giving Excel more data to base the series on. In this example, I'm creating a series that's every half hour. Autofill has many options when creating a series based on calendar data. With dates, you can fill days, weeks, months, and years. When you're working with days of the week, you can fill in all 7 days or just weekdays. You can even create a series for quarters based on dates and based on abbreviations. And you can create a series of years. In the next video, we'll cover flash fill in detail. In the first video, you saw how flash fill can automatically fill in and format a list of names. But it can work with many different types of data. I'm typing phone numbers the way I want them formatted. When flash fill recognizes a pattern, it provides a preview. To accept it and fill in the column, I press Enter. To use flash fill, I need to be in a column next to the data I want changed. I also used unique formatting on the top row. This helps flash fill understand that the top row is a header row, so it won't use it in determining a pattern. The phone numbers use the general format. This column is formatted as a number. Flash fill isn't triggered automatically for data formatted as a number. There are only 10 unique characters, and it's too easy to come up with random patterns. Like this. The dates aren't correct. For example, this date should be 5/27/1974, not 2/27/1974. Providing an additional example will help flash fill understand the pattern. We'll add another date the way we want it formatted. We'll select the cells. We can use the fill handle or the flash fill button on the Data tab. And now flash fill accurately fills in the dates. In the first video, you saw how flash fill can help you combine and format names. In this example, we'll do a more advanced version of that. I type the last name, first name, and the middle initial with the desired punctuation and capitalization. When I start typing the second name, flash fill makes suggestions for the rest of the names. It's not perfect, but it's pretty close. So I press Enter. In this case, flash fill wasn't sure what to do for names that don't have a middle name or initial. By providing flash fill with an example of how to handle these names, it fills in the other name. You can also use flash fill to split up a column of data. Type the first name, start to type the next, and flash fill makes a suggestion for the rest of the first names. They look good, so I press Enter. We do the same thing for the last name. Now you got a pretty good idea about how to use autofill and flash fill. Of course, there's always more to learn, so check out the course summary at the end, and best of all, explore Excel 2013 on your own.